before humans conquered the northern lands. Before science understood how life survives in extreme cold. There already existed a world where harsh nature determined every fate. Stretching across deep icy valleys, taiga forests and the frozen lands of Norway live resilient creatures, silent predators, adapted to long darkness and unforgiving winters. A world of ice, darkness and survival. Norway. Welcome to wild Norway, predators of the north in the eternal frozen forests. Please give us a like and subscribe to the channel to motivate us to create more quality content. Don't forget to leave your comments below so we can discuss together. Let's begin. The morning sun breaks over the peaks. Golden rays filter through a layer of low clouds, illuminating a majestic landscape. This is Norway, where nature still reigns. An immense fjord cuts through the ancient mountain ranges, with waters reflecting the sky like a polished mirror. High above, an eagle glides on thermal currents, observing its territory with a sharp gaze. The howl of a wolf echoes throughout the valley. It is the call of the wild, the heartbeat of Norway. The snow-capped peaks give way to pristine valleys. A moose emerges from the morning mist, its massive antlers adorned with dewdrops that shine like diamonds. It pauses, alert, and then continues its journey through the wild. From the coastal cliffs, where seabirds glide and cry out, to the Arctic tundra, where reindeer herds migrate along ancient trails. These are lands where nature still writes its own rules, where the seasons decide the rhythm of life, and where wild creatures continue their eternal struggle for survival. Welcome to Norway. The dawn light spreads over the Jotunheimen mountain range, illuminating a landscape sculpted by ice and time. Jotunheimen means the home of the giants, and standing among these imposing mountains, one understands why. This is the roof of Northern Europe, home to more than 250 peaks exceeding 1,900 meters. A golden eagle rides a thermal current, ascending gently with Galdhøpiggen, Norway's highest mountain, as its backdrop. With a wingspan of over 2 meters, this apex predator dominates the Jotunheimen sky with a piercing gaze that scans the ground for prey. The rugged terrain beneath its feet transitions from bare rocks to alpine meadows, vibrant with hardy flowers in purple and yellow hues. A stream of crystal clear water flows with such purity that it can be drunk directly from the source. This water begins as snow on the mountain peak, filtered through layers of ancient rock. Summer in Jotunheimen brings a brief but intense explosion of life. Plants and animals rush to take advantage of the short, warm season. This national park covers more than 100 square kilometers of preserved wilderness, a sanctuary where Norway's alpine species thrive far from human intervention. The golden eagle banks sharply, taking advantage of the air currents with minimal effort. At this age, the female has reached her prime. Her sharp vision can detect a hare from more than 1 kilometer away, recognizing even the smallest movements. She tucks her wings and dives. Her speed reaches nearly 240 kilometers per hour as she descends directly toward her target. A mountain hare is paralyzed in a fatal instant before desperately running for cover. It is too late. The powerful talons extend and strike the prey with precision. Each talon generates a pressure of more than 400 pounds per square inch, enough to kill the prey instantly. The eagle now has food for several days. Back at the nest, built on a steep rocky ledge, 2 eaglets wait. The nest itself is an incredible structure used for years and expanded after each breeding season, reaching up to 2 meters in diameter and weighing hundreds of kilograms. The mother eagle must hunt continuously to feed her growing offspring. In the challenging environment of Jotunheimen, nearly half of all eaglets do not survive their first year. Those that survive will depend on their parents for months before mastering complex hunting skills. Golden eagles form pairs for life, and this female's mate patrols nearby to protect the territory from other birds of prey. Together, they occupy about 100 square kilometers of hunting ground, an area they will fiercely defend against competitors. Winter brings new challenges. When snow covers the mountains and forests, prey becomes scarce. The eagles must expand their hunting range, sometimes following reindeer herds to feed on their remains. Their extraordinary vision allows them to detect carrion from long distances, a vital advantage in the desolate winter landscape. A small herd of wild reindeer moves at a steady pace across a wind-swept plateau. Unlike the domesticated reindeer that roam the far north under the care of the Sami people, this is one of the last truly wild reindeer herds in Europe. The female leading the herd stops, sniffing the air with flared nostrils before continuing the journey. Her vigilance is well-founded. Although wolves have been virtually absent from Jotunheimen for decades, the wolverine remains a threat, especially to young reindeer and elderly or weak individuals. Reindeer are perfectly adapted to mountain life. Their wide hooves act as natural snowshoes in winter and provide stability on rocky terrain in summer. Currently, in late summer, the herd's coat changes from light tones to darker colors for the winter. The males sport impressive antlers that can measure more than 1 meter long. These antlers are used to establish hierarchies during the rutting season in autumn. The herd descends toward a rare high mountain wetland. There they feed on grasses, sedges, and willow shoots. Each animal needs to consume up to 4.5 kilograms of vegetation a day. Summer is the crucial time to accumulate fat, which helps them survive the dry winter months when they must dig through the snow, primarily to find lichen. It is an incredible adaptation that few large mammals possess. The calves of the herd were born just a few months ago. By May, they could already run at the pace of the adults. This is an essential skill for survival for an animal that must move constantly in search of food. During their first winter, they will be independent enough to overcome extreme conditions. However, they will follow the herd for protection and guidance. Human infrastructure has fragmented the traditional migratory routes that reindeer have traveled for thousands of years. Roads, tourist lodges and hiking trails can become barriers that prevent herds from reaching seasonal feeding grounds or breeding sites. Conservative estimates indicate that the wild reindeer population in the mountains has declined by more than 35% in recent decades. Jotunheimen's national park status has provided vital protection for the fauna. Founded in 1980, the park strictly prohibits urban development and regulates human activities. However, challenges persist. Tourism attracts more than 300,000 visitors a year to this mountain kingdom. While most people respect the trails and camping areas, the collective impact of human presence continues to disturb wildlife and damage fragile high-altitude vegetation, which can take decades to recover. The icy seas merge with the infinite sky at the border of inhabited regions. This is Svalbard, a remote Arctic archipelago located between mainland Norway and the North Pole. Here, darkness dominates for months during the polar night, and when summer arrives, the sun never sets. The landscape appears desolate, even lifeless at first glance. Giant glaciers cut through the mountains, where blue ice contrasts with black rock and white snow. The wind howls over the tundra plains, shaping one of the most extreme and fragile environments on Earth. Looking closely, life reveals itself in extraordinary ways. A small purple flower emerges from the cracks in the rocks. It is the Arctic poppy, defying all odds. Nearby, reindeer graze among the sparse vegetation. Their specialized metabolism allows them to thrive where other large mammals would starve. Svalbard covers more than 61,000 square kilometers, but human settlement is limited to just a few small communities. In this inhospitable kingdom, the number of polar bears exceeds the number of humans. Ancestral laws of survival still govern daily life. The archipelago is home to a unique combination of terrestrial and marine ecosystems. Land animals have developed amazing adaptations to the cold, while the surrounding sea nurtures abundant life thanks to nutrients from converging ocean currents. Svalbard is on the front line of global climate change, with a warming rate that is double the global average. The future of this place may foreshadow changes that will affect ecosystems across the planet. A giant white silhouette moves cautiously across an iceberg. This adult male polar bear weighs more than 600 kilograms and stands 3 meters tall when on its hind legs. Its thick coat appears somewhat yellowish against the background of blue and white ice. In reality, each hair fiber is transparent and hollow, which helps insulate heat and conduct warm sunlight to the black skin underneath. The bear approaches a breathing hole in the ice where seals emerge to breathe. With extraordinary patience, it adopts a waiting posture. It can remain motionless for hours to save energy while waiting for its prey. Its metabolism has slowed down after months of unsuccessful hunting. Beneath the ice, a seal swims cautiously. These marine mammals create and maintain multiple breathing holes without knowing which one might have a predator lying in wait. Finally, the need for oxygen drives the seal to rise to the surface. In a burst of speed, the bear attacks. Its powerful front paws, equipped with 10-centimeter claws, catch the seal before it can escape. The hunt is successful, ending a week of fasting for the bear. It consumes up to 20 kilograms of energy-rich blubber, storing it in its own reserves. Svalbard is home to about 300 resident polar bears, part of the Barents Sea population. They have fully adapted to life at sea with water-repellent fur and partially webbed paws. This makes them powerful swimmers, capable of traveling hundreds of kilometers in open water. For a female, successfully raising her litter is the greatest challenge. After mating in the fall, she digs a den in the snow to hibernate with a minimal metabolism. The cubs are born in the den weighing less than 1 kilogram. But they grow fast thanks to their mother's nutrient-rich milk, which contains more than 30% fat. Leaving the den in spring marks the beginning of the most dangerous period. The mother bear has not eaten in months and must now hunt while protecting her cubs from males, who sometimes kill cubs so that the female will become receptive again. Less than half of polar bear cubs survive their first year. The greatest threat to polar bears in Svalbard comes from climate change. Sea ice forms later and melts earlier each year, reducing the crucial hunting ground. Bears are forced to swim longer distances between ice flows, exhausting their valuable energy reserves. Some bears in Svalbard have changed their behavior and spend more time foraging on land. But this food source cannot replace the energy-rich seal-based diet on which they evolutionarily depend. A small white shadow moves through the tundra landscape. almost invisible against the white snow. It is a Svalbard Arctic fox in its winter coat. It weighs only 3 kilograms, but can survive temperatures as low as -50 degrees Celsius. Unlike its relatives on the mainland, both the father and mother participate in raising the cubs. Its diet changes with the seasons, from seabirds and eggs to scavenging the remains of polar bear hunts. This flexibility is essential in an environment of limited resources. The fox approaches a colony of guillemots on the steep cliffs. These birds nest on narrow rocky ledges precisely to avoid predators like the fox. But this cunning canid has learned to access certain areas with amazing speed. It moves through complex terrain to raid nests, taking eggs or chicks and caching excess food. Some foxes have even developed another extraordinary feeding strategy. By following polar bears onto the sea ice, they become companion scavengers, consuming the seal leftovers from the giant predator. This relationship benefits the fox, but does not affect the bear that has already eaten. When the winter darkness descends during the polar night, the fox relies on its extraordinary hearing to locate lemmings. With its characteristic pouncing technique, it lunges onto the surface to catch its prey. A family of foxes may need thousands of lemmings a year to survive. Reproduction happens under extreme conditions. In spring, the female gives birth to litters, averaging 5 cubs. However, in years of special food abundance, a litter can reach 11 cubs. Underground dens protect them from the weather, but the mortality rate remains very high. The Arctic fox was subject to intense hunting for its valuable winter coat until Norway enacted protection laws in 1930. Today, climate change is the greatest danger. Rising temperatures allow the larger red fox to expand northward, creating direct competition and bringing new diseases for which the Arctic fox has no immunity. A group of robust, short-legged reindeer moves slowly through the tundra. This is the Svalbard reindeer, a subspecies unique on Earth. Their low body helps minimize heat loss, while the thick winter coat has hollow guard hairs that trap warm air. Evolution has molded these animals specifically for survival in the remote Arctic. Unlike mainland reindeer, they do not form large herds or undertake long migrations to conserve energy. Their distinctive appearance includes shorter legs and a rounder body than their relatives. A female reindeer uses her hooves to dig through the snow in search of the vegetation beneath. This behavior is vital during the long Arctic winter, when almost all vegetation is buried. Surprisingly, these reindeer can reduce their metabolic rate during the winter, entering a state of semi-hibernation. Their internal temperature drops and their heart rate slows to save energy. The annual life cycle of the Svalbard reindeer is closely synchronized with the drastic changes of the seasons. Calves are born in June, when summer vegetation begins to appear. During the period of intense summer feeding, reindeer accumulate an amount of fat that can represent up to 30% of their body weight. This energy source becomes vital in the winter months. Climate change brings mixed consequences. Warmer summers can increase plant growth, but winter rains create layers of hard ice that prevent them from accessing food. Today, environmental regulations in Svalbard are among the strictest in the world. Approximately 65% of the archipelago's area and 87% of its territorial waters are protected. Dawn breaks over a vast mountain plateau that stretches to the horizon. This is Hardangervidda, an immense wilderness region of 6,500 square kilometers, with an average altitude of 1,100 meters. It is the largest mountain plateau in Europe, a landscape of extraordinary contrasts and pristine beauty. Small lakes and ponds dot the terrain, with waters reflecting the image of passing clouds. Eroded rocks stand like ancient sentinels in the sky, sculpted by millennia of extreme weather into evocative shapes. In the distance, remnant glaciers cling to the slopes. The meltwater from them nurtures countless streams that sustain life on the plateau. This mosaic of bogs, heaths, and rocky outcrops creates a surprisingly rich habitat despite the extreme conditions. Here, plants grow close to the ground to adapt to constant winds and prolonged winters. Arctic cotton grass sways its white seed heads like small flags, announcing the arrival of the short summer. The vastness of Hardangervidda has remained almost unchanged since the last ice age ended more than 10,000 years ago. This landscape, where humans are only temporary visitors rather than permanent residents, remains largely free from the disturbances of modern development. The national park, founded in 1981, protects both the unique ecosystem and an important cultural heritage. It includes archaeological evidence of hunting traditions dating back thousands of years. Stone Age hunters were the first to pursue reindeer in these highlands, starting a relationship between humans and wildlife that persists today. The remoteness and difficult conditions of the plateau have preserved a sanctuary for species that have largely disappeared from Europe. Here, Arctic and high mountain specialists maintain stable populations despite increasing pressure from climate change and human activities. A herd of reindeer flows like a living river over the landscape. Nearly 1,000 animals move rhythmically, the sound of their footsteps forming a rhythm that echoes across the plateau. This is the largest remaining wild mountain reindeer population in Europe, and also the southernmost population in the world. Unlike their domesticated northern relatives herded by the Sami, the reindeer of Hardangervidda represent a truly wild population. Their behavior reflects thousands of years of natural selection in this extreme environment, forming migratory patterns, social structures, and feeding strategies adapted specifically to the conditions of the mountain plateau. The annual migratory cycle guides the herd between seasonal feeding grounds. In summer, they disperse far and wide to take advantage of fresh vegetation, and pregnant females seek isolated calving areas on higher ground. When autumn arrives, the different herds gather to enter the breeding season, at which time dominant males round up females and engage in fierce competition for mating rights. Currently, in late summer, the animals feed tirelessly to build vital fat reserves for winter. An adult reindeer can consume up to 5 kilograms of vegetation a day. Their specialized digestive system allows them to extract nutrients from lichen, a type of food that most other mammals cannot digest. This is a vital adaptation for winter survival when there are very few other food sources. Reindeer have developed amazing adaptations to the Arctic and alpine environment. Their coat contains hollow hairs that trap air for insulation and give them extraordinary buoyancy when swimming across lakes or rivers. Their hooves widen in summer to avoid sinking into bogs and contract in winter to expose hard edges that provide better grip on ice and snow. The population in Hardangervidda once exceeded 30,000 individuals, but it has declined significantly in recent decades. Current estimates indicate that the herd counts only about 10,000 reindeer, raising concerns about its long-term viability. Habitat fragmentation due to roads, railways, and hydroelectric works has altered traditional migratory routes. Meanwhile, climate change alters plant patterns and increases parasite populations. Proper management of this population is one of Norway's most important conservation challenges. As a species that requires vast, connected territories, wild reindeer act as an indicator of ecosystem health. A large bird of prey glides almost motionless against the wind. Its characteristic feather-covered legs reveal its identity as the rough-legged buzzard. This impressive raptor specializes in hunting in open terrain like Hardangervidda, where it can detect small mammals from a considerable height. Unlike other birds of prey that maintain their territory year-round in Norway, the rough-legged buzzard is a seasonal resident that arrives in spring from its wintering grounds in the south. Its nesting cycle coincides exactly with the time when rodent populations reach their peak, illustrating the complex connections that nurture the plateau's fauna. A female buzzard returns to the nest on a rocky ledge or outcrop. The solid structure contains 4 eggs that need continuous care. Both the father and mother participate in incubation and later in feeding the chicks, a demanding task given the energy demands of growing offspring. The rough-legged buzzard shows incredible adaptation to the extreme environment of the plateau. Its thick plumage, which includes feathered legs, insulates it from the cold. Its specialized vision allows it to hunt in the dim light of Arctic summer nights when prey is very active. The breeding population fluctuates drastically according to the rodent cycle. In peak years, Hardangervidda can host hundreds of breeding pairs, while in low years, very few attempt to nest. This boom and bust model is characteristic of many Arctic and alpine species. The presence of the rough-legged buzzard in Hardangervidda is a sign of a well-functioning ecosystem with predator-prey relationships intact. As medium-sized predators, these birds occupy an important niche. Humans have exploited Hardangervidda's resources for millennia. Archaeological evidence reveals Stone Age hunting trap systems used to capture migratory reindeer. Subsequently, traditional seasonal agricultural activities developed with summer dairy farms in the mountains. Modern pressures pose greater challenges for the plateau ecosystem. Hydroelectric development has flooded valleys and altered water flow throughout the region. Roads and the railway hinder wildlife movement, especially for reindeer herds. Tourism attracts more than 100,000 visitors a year thanks to the network of trails and mountain stations. The collective impact of human presence disturbs vulnerable fauna and contributes to damaging high-altitude vegetation. Conservation efforts focus on maintaining the wild character of the plateau while adapting to traditional uses. The expansion of protection zones limits industrial development. Additionally, research programs monitor indicator species to detect changes in the ecosystem. Coordinated management seeks sustainable solutions to preserve this invaluable region of wilderness. Rugged mountains rise directly from the sea with granite peaks reflecting the golden light of the midnight sun. This is Lofoten, an archipelago where the border between land and ocean fades. Vertical cliffs plunge hundreds of meters into crystal-clear fjords, creating one of the most spectacular points of intersection on Earth. A white-tailed eagle glides along the cliff, taking advantage of updrafts without needing to flap its wings. Below, waves crash against reefs sculpted by thousands of years of Atlantic storms. The raw power of nature is felt in every aspect of this landscape. Scattered fishing villages cling to the narrow coastal strip with red wooden houses that contrast vibrantly with the blue of the sea. These settlements represent centuries of human adaptation to the rhythm of the ocean. It is especially the annual arrival of cod that has sustained the local community since the Viking Age. Despite being within the Arctic Circle, Lofoten has unexpectedly warm temperatures thanks to the influence of the Gulf Stream. This creates a unique environment where Arctic and temperate species coexist, generating extraordinary biodiversity both on land and underwater. The archipelago covers more than 100 square kilometers and consists of 6 main islands connected by bridges and tunnels. Deep fjords separate the land masses, while the open sea to the west exposes the outer islands to the force of the Atlantic. This geographical diversity creates countless microhabitats that nurture specialized communities of plants and animals. Lofoten is an exceptional example of harmonious coexistence between human cultural traditions and natural processes. Sustainable fishing methods over generations have allowed the local community to exploit marine resources without exhausting them. However, modern pressures are testing this fragile balance. A giant bird glides along the cliff with a wingspan of more than 2.4 meters. It is the largest eagle in Europe, the white-tailed eagle, sometimes called the sea eagle because of its preference for coastal hunting. Its primary feathers spread at the wingtips look like extended fingers as it makes small adjustments for perfect flight control. Two eagles perform a spectacular flight, tumbling and locking their talons in free fall before separating at the last second. They are a pair for life and are reinforcing their bond before the breeding season. These eagles build their nests on inaccessible cliff ledges. Lofoten is the place with the highest density of breeding pairs in the world, with an average of 1 pair for every 10 square kilometers of suitable habitat. Built over the years, this structure can reach gigantic dimensions, 2 meters wide and weighing hundreds of kilograms. They usually lay a single egg, which requires the dedicated incubation of both parents for the next 38 days. Hunting often occurs over the water, where the eagle's extraordinary vision allows it to detect fish swimming near the surface. With calculated precision, it descends with legs extended and powerful talons, catching the prey unerringly. Some individuals specialize in hunting seabirds, taking advantage of the surprise factor to capture puffins, guillemots, and gulls in mid-flight. The white-tailed eagle was on the brink of extinction in Norway in the 20th century. Hunting, poisoning, and habitat destruction reduced the population to fewer than 100 pairs in the 1970s. Its protected status and conservation efforts have helped them recover significantly. With the current Norwegian population estimated between 3,500 and 4,000 pairs, eagles in Lofoten still face constant challenges. Entanglement in fishing nets causes many deaths each year, while increasing maritime traffic disturbs nesting areas. Environmental pollutants, including heavy metals, continue to accumulate in the bodies of these large predators, which can affect their reproductive capacity. The recovery of the white-tailed eagle is one of the greatest conservation successes in Norway. As an apex predator that requires a healthy marine and coastal ecosystem, its presence indicates that environmental quality is benefiting countless other species. A dark head pops up for an instant and then disappears beneath the waves. Harbour seals inhabit the coastal waters of Lofoten throughout the year. These marine mammals are perfectly adapted to life between land and sea, with the ability to dive deeply for long periods, but needing dry land to rest and reproduce. The seal climbs onto a small island that is exposed when the tide goes out. These resting places are essential for them to stay away from land predators and allow them to launch into the water quickly if there is danger. Their mottled coat provides excellent camouflage on the rocks. Many seals have congregated in this traditional spot. Although they are not truly social animals, harbour seals often group together in favourable spots, especially during the molting period when they spend a lot of time out of the water. Each animal maintains personal distance and will show threat signals if a neighbour gets too close. The largest male weighs about 127 kilograms and measures nearly 2 meters. The size difference between sexes in harbour seals is less pronounced than in other marine mammals. Females are only slightly smaller than males. Both sexes can live up to 30 years under favourable conditions. Underwater, these creatures transform from clumsy walkers on land into elegant swimmers capable of diving to more than 100 meters and holding their breath for up to 30 minutes. Special adaptations like lungs that can collapse, a slow heart rate, and a high oxygen carrying capacity in the blood allow them to perform these extraordinary dives. Reproduction occurs in sheltered coves and estuaries at the start of summer. The female gives birth to a single pup, which can swim just a few hours after birth, but remains dependent on its mother's milk for several weeks. Unlike other seal species, harbour seal pups shed their white coat before birth, being born already with a coat similar to adults that helps them camouflage better from predators. The population in Lofoten faces threats from various sources. Commercial fishing sometimes causes net entanglements and drownings. Increasing maritime traffic, especially in the tourist season, disturbs vital resting areas. Pollutants accumulated in the bodies of these large predators can affect their immune system. The number of harbour seals has decreased by approximately 40% in some coastal regions of Norway in recent decades. Protection measures, which include restricting access to seasonal breeding zones, seek to reduce human disturbance. A small, colourful bird lands clumsily on a grassy ledge of the cliff. The Atlantic puffin, with its triangular beak of vibrant red, yellow and blue colours, returns to its nest after a day of fishing. Although often described comically for its duck-like walk on land, puffins are extraordinary oceanic explorers that spend most of their lives far from the coast. Lofoten is home to many important puffin colonies, although Norway's largest breeding grounds are found further north. This gregarious seabird digs 1-meter-long burrows in the soil of the cliffs. A burrow can be used for years, and pairs show high fidelity to their nest. The puffin emerges from the burrow with its beak full of small fish arranged in neat parallel rows. This impressive amount of prey, sometimes exceeding 10 fish in a single trip, shows the specialized hunting technique that distinguishes the puffin from other seabirds. The tightly closed beak and rough tongue allow them to hold several fish at once. Inside the burrow, a single chick waits to be fed. Pairs only lay 1 egg a year, investing all their energy in raising this single chick. The chick will remain in the underground burrow for about 45 days before fledging and departing, usually under cover of darkness to avoid enemies. Outside the breeding season, they live almost entirely at sea. These clumsy-looking birds transform into efficient swimmers, using their wings to fly underwater in search of small fish and plankton. They can dive up to 60 meters and stay underwater for more than a minute. The puffin population faces major challenges. Climate change alters the marine food chain, sometimes decreasing the populations of sand eel and caplin, upon which they depend. Exotic predators like rats and mink can devastate breeding colonies, while plastic pollution increasingly affects seabirds through ingestion or entanglement. Conservation initiatives include the eradication of invasive species on key breeding islands, protecting colonies from human disturbance, and continuous research. Puffin population trends serve as indicators of broader changes in the North Atlantic marine ecosystem. Humans have inhabited Lofoten for at least 6,000 years, attracted by the abundant marine resources. Archaeological evidence shows that early settlements centered on seasonal fishing, especially exploiting the large amounts of cod. The cultural landscape of the archipelago reflects the adaptation of many generations to extreme conditions. Traditional fishing villages occupy spots sheltered from the wind with characteristic wooden structures for drying cod without salt. This historical relationship has created sustainable fishing models that helped maintain ecosystem function for centuries. Oil and gas exploration is currently a controversial potential threat, with large reserves identified in the surrounding waters. Environmental organizations emphasize the potential negative impacts on the fishing industry and wildlife. Despite these challenges, Lofoten remains a rare example where traditional human activities are harmoniously integrated into ecosystem functions. The morning mist rises from countless lakes and bogs, enveloping ancient pines in a mystical light. This is Femundsmarka, an old-growth forest landscape that stretches across both sides of the border between Norway and Sweden. Here, time seems to pass differently, measured by the slow growth of lichens and the gradual decay of giant trees. A bull moose emerges from the mist with massive antlers nearly 2 meters wide. He stops to nibble on willow shoots before disappearing into the depths of the forest with surprising silence for such a large animal. Stillness returns, only interrupted by the soft lapping of water against the shore. Femonsmarka National Park preserves more than 600 square kilometers of one of the largest remaining boreal forest ecosystems in Scandinavia. This landscape of rolling hills covered with pine and spruce forests is dotted with countless lakes. The region remains remote due to minimal infrastructure. Very few roads penetrate this wilderness area. This isolation has preserved ecosystem processes almost unchanged since the last ice age ended more than 10,000 years ago. Femonsmarka represents the southern extension of the Taiga ecosystem that encircles the northern hemisphere. This coniferous forest biome constitutes the Earth's largest terrestrial ecosystem and plays a vital role in carbon storage. The park's founding in 1971 recognized the increasingly scarce quality of real wilderness in Europe. Here, natural processes like forest fires, storms, and pests continue to define the forest dynamics without human interference, creating the complex environmental structure upon which boreal forest species depend. A female moose and her calf wade through shallow waters, feeding on mineral-rich aquatic plants. As Scandinavia's largest land animal, an adult can weigh more than 500 kilograms and stand 2 meters tall at the shoulder. It moves through the dense forest with amazing agility and silence. Femonsmarka provides the ideal habitat for moose with its combination of mature forests and countless wetlands. These giant herbivores consume up to 27 kilograms of vegetation a day, focusing on branches and bark in winter. The mother moose and her calf climb onto the shore, water dripping from their dark brown coat. Their long legs, perfectly adapted for moving in both deep snow and bogs, help them overcome the terrain with ease. The calf, born only 2 months ago, is already as tall as an adult deer. Despite their heavy appearance, moose are expert swimmers, capable of traveling several kilometers in lakes or rivers. Their specialized nostrils can close underwater, while their widened hooves provide efficient propulsion. Autumn brings the dramatic rutting season when males compete for the right to reproduce. They clash using their massive palmate antlers, which sometimes weigh more than 20 kilograms. These antlers grow and fall off annually, an extraordinary physiological feat representing one of the fastest growing tissues in the animal kingdom. During the peak growth period, antlers can lengthen nearly 2 centimeters a day. Moose in Femmensmarka face relatively few natural predators. Although wolves have begun to recolonize parts of central Scandinavia, their numbers here remain low. Climate change brings new challenges. Warmer winters with variable freezing cycles create sharp ice crusts that injure the animals. Shorter snow seasons allow parasites to expand their range northward, sometimes causing dangerous infestations. As a dominant herbivore, the moose significantly influences forest structure. A black silhouette moves with determination under the forest canopy. The wolverine, the largest terrestrial member of the mustelid family, patrols its territory with tireless efficiency. Although it weighs only 15 kilograms, this animal possesses legendary strength and stamina, being capable of taking down prey many times larger than itself and defending itself against larger predators. Femmensmarka is a crucial habitat for this rare and mysterious carnivore. Norway is home to about 250 wolverines, and this region has one of the southernmost breeding populations. Its presence indicates the quality of the natural environment, as this species requires vast, undisturbed territories and is extremely sensitive to human interference. The wolverine stops, sniffing the air. Its powerful sense of smell allows it to detect carrion under several meters of snow, a vital skill in winter when scavenging becomes the main feeding strategy. Although often described as a scavenger, the wolverine is also an expert hunter that can pursue and kill large animals like reindeer. Recent tracks in the soft ground reveal the characteristic five-toed mark with semi-retractable claws, adapted for climbing and digging. The territorial range of a male in this area usually exceeds 400 square kilometers, forcing him to move constantly to monitor boundaries and search for food. The female gives birth in sophisticated dens dug in areas of deep snow accumulation. These dens are usually located on north-facing slopes where snow persists well into spring. 2 or 3 kits depend on their mother until 6 months of age, during which time they learn complex hunting and survival skills. During this period, the mother must hunt continuously to satisfy the food demand of her growing cubs. The wolverine faces multiple threats despite its protection status. Habitat fragmentation due to logging, road construction, and recreational development limits movement between suitable habitable areas. Conflicts with the sheep industry historically led to its persecution. Climate change is an existential threat to southern wolverine populations, like those in Femmensmarka. As the spring snowpack decreases, suitable environments for building dens become scarce. Without access to appropriate nesting conditions, reproductive success drops drastically. Conservation efforts focus on maintaining connectivity between protected areas and reducing human-related mortality. As an umbrella species that requires vast wilderness regions, wolverine conservation benefits countless other specialized boreal forest species. Dawn breaks in a small clearing among the centuries-old pine forest. A large, dark bird with its tail fanned out is performing a sophisticated display, emitting click-clack sounds that increase in speed. It is the capercaillie, the largest wild grouse in Europe and a living symbol of the intact boreal forest ecosystem. Males gather at traditional display sites called leks, competing for the attention of females through rituals that may have occurred in the same spot for centuries. The dominant male takes center stage. His shiny black plumage contrasts with his intense red eyebrows and white spots on the wings and tail. The display intensifies as the females approach. The male fans his tail, lowers his wings, and struts in small circles while emitting a complex sequence of sounds that ends with a characteristic pop. In the moment of highest excitement, he falls into a trance-like state where his awareness temporarily diminishes. The females watch from nearby trees, evaluating the quality of the males through visual and auditory signals. Most of the mating opportunities belong to the dominant male in the center. After mating, the female leaves to nest alone on the forest floor without any help from the male. The capercaillie requires mature forests of complex structure with an open undergrowth to be able to fly and move across the ground. Its diet changes with the seasons, and in winter it feeds almost exclusively on conifer needles, especially pine. Specialized digestive adaptations allow it to extract nutrients from this resinous and fibrous food source. Somewhere on the surface of the ocean, a giant has stopped breathing. There is no noise, there is no drama, just a colossal body beginning to sink lifelessly. From the light layer, the whale carcass falls through the oceanic layers, silent, like a planet falling into darkness. A journey that lasts hours, even days, passing through zones where light fades until touching the cold, abyssal bottom thousands of meters deep. When that colossal body touches the mud, an invisible signal propagates through the water, the smell of decomposition. In an ocean where food is a rarity, this is an unusual but decisive event. The first to appear arrive almost immediately. Hagfish slide through the thick skin, secreting mucus to burrow inward. Dense colonies of amphipods cover the surface, tearing off chunks of flesh in a constant feeding frenzy. Crabs and bottom-dwelling fish join in, each species occupying a place in this giant feast. The initial phase is rapid. Within a few weeks, most of the soft tissue has been consumed. But the story doesn't end there. When the flesh disappears, a completely different ecosystem begins to emerge. Anaerobic bacteria penetrate the bones, breaking down the remaining lipids and releasing energy-rich compounds like hydrogen sulfide. From there, a new community of organisms forms, which do not depend on sunlight but on chemistry. Osidax worms appear, also known as bone-eating worms. Without mouths or stomachs, they insert biological roots into the whale's bones, extracting nutrients thanks to symbiotic bacteria living inside their bodies. Around them, small crustaceans, snails, and microorganisms create a complete ecosystem that lasts years, even decades, from a single carcass. In a seemingly sterile world, where the seabed is a desert of cold, nutrient-poor mud, the death of a whale becomes an oasis of life. It feeds hundreds of species, many of which cannot exist anywhere else. Energy is transferred from that colossal body through every layer of life to finally merge with the deep seabed. Here, death is not the end. It is a transfer. A body that once swam through immense oceans now becomes the foundation for new life in eternal darkness. And when the last fragments of bone gradually dissolve into the sediment, the ocean returns to its state of stillness, waiting once more for the fall of another giant. In the deepest places on the planet, once believed to be impregnable, the stillness is no longer pure. Somewhere on the surface of the ocean, a giant has stopped breathing. There is no noise, there is no drama, just a colossal body beginning to sink lifelessly. From the light layer, the whale carcass falls through the oceanic layers, silent, like a planet falling into darkness. A journey that lasts hours, even days, passing through zones where light fades until touching the cold, abyssal bottom thousands of meters deep. When that colossal body touches the mud, an invisible signal propagates through the water. The smell of decomposition. In an ocean where food is a rarity, this is an unusual but decisive event. The first to appear arrive almost immediately. Hagfish slide through the thick skin, secreting mucus to burrow inward. Dense colonies of amphipods cover the surface, tearing off chunks of flesh in a constant feeding frenzy. Crabs and bottom-dwelling fish join in, each species occupying a place in this giant feast. The initial phase is rapid. Within a few weeks, most of the soft tissue has been consumed. But the story doesn't end there. When the flesh disappears, a completely different ecosystem begins to emerge. Anaerobic bacteria penetrate the bones, breaking down the remaining lipids and releasing energy-rich compounds like hydrogen sulfide. From there, a new community of organisms forms, which do not depend on sunlight but on chemistry. Osedax worms appear, also known as bone-eating worms. Without mouths or stomachs, they insert biological roots into the whale's bones, extracting nutrients thanks to symbiotic bacteria living inside their bodies. Around them, small crustaceans, snails, and microorganisms create a complete ecosystem that lasts years, even decades, from a single carcass. In a seemingly sterile world, where the seabed is a desert of cold, nutrient-poor mud, the death of a whale becomes an oasis of life. It feeds hundreds of species, many of which cannot exist anywhere else. Energy is transferred from that colossal body through every layer of life to finally merge with the deep seabed. Here, death is not the end. It is a transfer. A body that once swam through immense oceans now becomes the foundation for new life in eternal darkness. And when the last fragments of bone gradually dissolve into the sediment, the ocean returns to its state of stillness, waiting once more for the fall of another giant. In the deepest places on the planet, once believed to be impregnable, the stillness is no longer pure. The ocean floor, which was once a world separate from any fluctuations on the surface, now bears clear traces of a new era. Plastic fragments float through the water layers, settling in the abyss like toxic snow. Containers of industrial and radioactive waste, forgotten for decades, lie motionless on the seabed, leaking silently over time. Change does not only come from tangible objects. Ocean temperature is rising. Even a few tenths of a degree are enough to break the stability that has existed for millions of years. Ocean currents change, dissolved oxygen decreases, and dead zones expand. In an environment where all organisms have evolved to adapt to extreme stability, any change, no matter how small, becomes a fierce survival pressure. In some regions, unusual signs are beginning to appear. Creatures that normally only exist in deep darkness are now recorded in higher water layers. Not because they have evolved to be there, but because their familiar environment is changing. When the seabed no longer provides the conditions necessary for survival, displacement becomes the only option. A world that was previously absolutely stable is gradually losing its balance. However, the deep ocean is not just a victim. It is a crucial part of the global climate regulation system. The organisms here participate in the carbon cycle, storing a vast amount of CO2 in sediments and biomass. When this ecosystem is disturbed, the impact does not stop thousands of meters deep, but extends across the planet, affecting climate, weather, and terrestrial life. We rarely see this world. It is not something we can easily see. It does not impress directly, like burning forests or melting ice. But precisely because of that invisibility, it is the easiest to forget. And when the changes become large enough for us to notice, it may already be too late to turn back. The deep ocean does not need pity. It needs understanding and responsible action. Every one of our decisions leaves a mark, even in the deepest place on Earth. Because in the end, there is no real border between our world and the world beneath the sea. There is only a single ecosystem that connects us all. And when the darkness of the ocean changes, it is the moment when we too must listen. If you want to continue exploring the hidden secrets of the blue planet, don't forget to hit like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next journeys. Because every new perspective you gain today can be the first step in protecting the world we haven't seen yet.